Greetings programs, NeoMegaMan back again for part 10 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo Rin's Path. Last time, emotions. This time, I don't know. Let's just see where the days take us. 2 days later, I'm feeling less miserable. I even go for a long, brisk, healthy walk like the nurse recommended, something which I had avoided and dodged with all sorts of excuses earlier. I feel more active in class as well, delighting our science/homeroom teacher, Mr. Muto, with correct and promptly delivered answers. The break right now in between the two morning classes is too short for any sort of meaningful activity, but too long to just spend it sitting in the classroom and doing nothing. Going out into the hallway isn't much better, but flexing my stiffened muscles is a better use of the time than letting them get even stiffer by staying seated. The door of the neighboring classroom opens and the students of 3-4 emerge to further fill up the already semi-crowded hallway. It seems their teacher kept them in for a few extra minutes. Emmy is among them. She notices me, which almost makes her look away on reflex. I don't, however, and Emmy smiles at me as she happily skips toward me past the other students. Emmy looks pretty energetic, showing no signs of illness whatsoever, as soon as she recovered from the cold. Hey, good morning! Nice to see you back on your feet. Feeling better now? She looks fine to me, but I still feel compelled to ask. Thanks! And yeah, I do. It was just a cold, nothing serious. Emmy laughs confidently, as if to emphasize her condition. I wonder for a moment what would count as serious in Emmy's book. She seems eager to put the topic aside, though. Where are you going? Off to Rin's room to see if she's awake yet. Oh, that was Emmy. Oh, she skipped the morning class? A sheepish smile emerges on Emmy's face as she gets slightly flustered. Not exactly. It seems she caught the cold that I had. Sorry to hear that. Well, she was out in the rain on Sunday with us, after all. I saw her on Monday and she was feeling a bit under the weather back then, too. Yeah, anyway, I'll ask the nurse for some cold medication to give her if she doesn't get better soon. She leaves for the girls' dorm. I want to go with her to wish Rin well. I want to tell her that I'm better now, too, but it doesn't feel appropriate. An unspecified feeling diverts my thoughts away. Somehow I just can't summon the resolve to go in there. Is this what Iwanako went through when she tried to tell me what she felt? Well, that was fast. Could have squeezed that one on to the end of the last video. Even though I'm feeling more energetic, I'm still hesitant about going over there to talk to Rin. It's not until 2 days later, on Friday, that I finally gather enough courage to enter the girls' dorm. I ask the first person I meet inside for directions to Rin's room. I knock on Rin's unmarked door and wait. After a few seconds of silence, I hear something rustling inside the room. I start wondering if maybe I should have brought something for her, like a can of warm coffee or some oranges. I could have peeled them for her. Well, too late now. The door opens soundlessly, it was already unlocked, and I find myself staring at Rin, who stares back at me. And shock of the day. She looks like she just got out of bed with her hair all messed up. And barely any clothes on. Dot, dot, dot. Hello. There's a strange, stupid-looking smile on Rin's face. I'm not exactly sure why. Rin smiles so rarely that it seems out of place every time, especially so now, given her partially undressed state. Said state makes me feel extremely conflicted about whether or not this was a good idea. Her cheeks are flushed rose red, contrasting with the milky, pale complexion of a person who doesn't get enough sunlight. Her forehead looks sweaty, as though she might have a fever. Hi. Now what? I hadn't planned anything further than this, and Rin is staring at me with those expectant eyes of hers again. Something about this situation gives me very strange vibes. Her eyes are even more vacant than usual, and she seems to have a hard time focusing them on anything. The lack of clothing is disturbing, but since she herself doesn't seem to be bothered, why should I be? I keep telling myself that. I thought I'd pay you a visit since you haven't been at the art club, and I wanted to talk with you and wish you well. Rin doesn't show any sign of recognizing what I just said, making me wonder if she actually understood my words or if she even heard them. Maybe it's the fever making her groggy. She might have actually been asleep before I came over. Okay. She turns on her heel and withdraws from the door, walking back inside the small room. From the doorway, I can see her walk back to her bed and half fall down, half sit down on a messy pile of bed sheets. The open doorway seems to be more of an obstacle in my mind than the closed door was, but since Rin doesn't say anything else, I step through it and into her room. Rin is on her bed leaning against the wall, leaving only the chair in the room for me. She keeps quiet even after I sit down, so maybe she meant to invite me in but just forgot to say so aloud. An implied invitation, as it were. Very exciting. Nobody has visited me before. The breaking of the silence draws my attention from the room to its inhabitant, who currently seems to be in the middle of a very profound thought process. Actually, that was not true about visiting, but Emmy doesn't count even if she visits. She always pampers me too much. I think she's having too much fun. I think I forgot how to put a bra on by myself. She looks groggily down at her chest. Which is probably why I don't have one on now, come to think of it. I haven't failed to notice that Rin doesn't have her shirt buttoned up either, but I try to keep my eyes strictly locked upon hers. Good lad. It's rather evident that she's not a very body-conscious person. My own body, however, is quite conscious of hers right now. She came to wake me up at 7:30 today. Can you imagine that? She pauses for a while and glances up at my dumbfounded face. On second thought, she probably can. It's not like that reverse rainbow fish I tried to imagine earlier. That was hard. Well, yes, that seems like a pretty normal time to wake up if you want to go to class in the morning. I'm trying to sound as reasonable as possible to counteract Rin's unreasonable annoyance. Told her to sod off. She gave me these meds and told me to take them. I follow her eyes to the night table and then to the pill bottle sitting on top of it. I pick it up and turn it around to look at the label so I can see what kind of medication Emmy brought. Active ingredient... codeine? You took all of these? No. Yes. I've been eating some since there's so many of them. Seem to make this thing not so bad. Actually, I think I'm feeling just fine. Her head lolls round and round, making it look like she's either trying to stretch her neck muscles or possibly pass out. She took several of these pills? Can that be safe? At least it's bound to have some side effects, which I'm afraid I'm witnessing right now. I'm feeling just fine. I'm fine. Just someone take this buzzing away from my head. I can't think straight. The annoyed expression returns to Rin's face. It's like many of those insect things. Or one really big insect thing. With lots of wings. Very much color and everything. What's the word for those? Oh, never mind. I remembered. It's butterflies. She smiles slightly at her last observation. The small pause in her monologue is not long enough for me to dare say something that could potentially, but not likely, salvage this discussion, because poor Rin is stoned out of her mind. I love butterflies. They are the best animal. Did you see any on your way here? Hisao? She utters my name as an afterthought, possibly to make it clear that she is now addressing me instead of just speaking her mind to whoever might be listening. This odd situation has left me speechless more or less since the moment Rin first opened her mouth. Now that she doesn't seem to have anything else to add, silence fills the small room. Makes me glance around again in an attempt to find something to talk about. Rin's room is about as small as mine. The big window, which takes up most of the wall furthest from the door, opens to the east just like mine. It looks very normal, which strikes me as strange. I expected something more different. About a dozen paintings, most of them Rin's signature abstract style, and a few art posters are taking up almost all the available wall space, but that's about the only real difference between her room and mine. The room is not exactly ascetic, but it doesn't look like what I'd expected from a girl's room either. A faint smell of art, paper and paint is floating in the air. It's the same smell the art room has. Rin isn't too concerned about being tidy, it seems. Everything she owns just seems to be arranged in various piles around her room. The room looks nice. It's an empty sentence one uses to fill empty spaces in conversations, but my wits are failing me pretty hard right now. Oh, poor Hisao. Yeah. Would you like me to show you the places? She looks down at her half-open shirt quizzically, making me inadvertently follow her gaze to her chest. Oh, I guess I already did. I can't deny that no matter how hard I tried to act properly. It's very nice that you came to see me. It makes me feel very... what's the word? You know, the one about things and stuff. Anyway, you came. Rin's rambling makes me remember that I actually came here for a reason. Hey, about what we talked about on Monday. On the rooftop, remember? Rin doesn't exactly seem to be attentive right now, not that she ever is. I plow ahead and get it off my chest anyway. I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be better from now on, I guess. I hate being pathetic, so I decided that I'm not going to be anymore. I guess that's all. Okay. Isn't that good? The blurry words flow out of her lips slowly and uncontrollably. I'm happy for you, I think. That's what I think. You shouldn't look so sad all the time. I mean, looking sad is fine if you're not sad, but you look sad like you're actually sad. That's no good. Are you going on some training camp where they make men out of boys? Or mountaintop meditation? No, I don't think so. Oh, I guess that's fine too. The sentences come out of her mouth and probably her brain, one at a time, with a small pause between each, making her gibberish hard to understand. I just think it seemed like a good idea. Maybe it's not. Rin finishes with one more line, getting to say the last word over herself. An impressive display of what I can only describe as mental shadowboxing. While I'm embarrassing myself, might as well tell you that I'm sorry that I said some stupid things to you last week. It's your own business to decide what you're gonna do. She seems not to register my words at first, but then understanding lights in her eyes and she waves her head around in a way that could be interpreted as anything. It's okay. I probably said stupid things too. It's just sometimes a bit hard to keep my thoughts the way I like them. They're not very straight, at least most of the time. Not that I want to have them straight. I just wish they were at least in some shape. Round is fine too, but I need more definition. My thoughts are very messy. Messy. She repeats the word melancholically and then flops down on her bed and nuzzles her head against the pillow, shutting her eyes. Enough. Tired. You should go. I'm going to sleep again. She opens one of her eyes to look at me. Was it you who likes to look at sleeping girls, or someone else? Maybe there were many of those. I can't remember. You can stay if you want. No, I'll leave. I have to do homework anyway. I stand up from the chair and take a step towards the door. Wait. Her request stops me in my tracks. Not that I intended to scoot off right away. I look over my shoulder at the girl lying on her bed, again with the strangest kind of smile on her features. She should smile more often. I can walk you to the door. It's the least a gentleman can do. Oh, Rin. Rin giggles like a little kid, making me beyond absolutely certain that she took far too much of her cold medication today. I've always wanted to say that. Slowly and with difficulty, Rin first rises to a sitting position again, then she stands up with even more difficulty and more slowly still. As if guided by some masculine automation, my eyes instantly lower to the curve of her thighs and the striped panties, at which point my manners force me to lift my gaze back to Rin's eye level. Oh, he's still just a boy, I mean. It's getting almost too hard to do that. Rin is standing, although barely. It looks like she has trouble keeping her usually decent balance. Again, probably a side effect of the medicine. She takes an unsteady step towards me, and then another smaller one as she notices it's not a good idea to try to take big steps. I feel my muscles tense as I prepare to catch Rin if she falls down. She manages to take 2 more steps before she falls against me. To my surprise, neither her downward momentum nor a slight height difference are able to stop Rin from pressing her heart-shaped lips squarely against mine. As our lips part after a confusing moment of nothing but the taste of Rin, I look down at her, trying to find some explanation for this bewildering event. The euphoric smile of a madman broadens on Rin's lips again, and I wonder if I will remember this tomorrow. I am absolutely stumped on how to respond. Rin takes a step backwards, separating her body from mine, and making me only now realize that they were even connected in the first place. The second step is actually a fall backwards, luckily straight onto her bed. The soft thud Rin's body makes against the mattress breaks the silence. I move quickly over to her and see if she hurt herself, only to be met with a peaceful face of dreaming. Rin sleeps. She's lying diagonally across the bed, somehow managing to have simultaneously fallen asleep while standing up and fallen down in a way that she didn't injure herself. Fool's luck. I tuck Rin in, covering her with the sheets as well as I can. She feels very light, even though I'm not that strong. I stand up to look at her, the oval-shaped face, the dark eyelashes shut against the feverish cheeks, the slender body covered with the pale sheets. Rin sleeps. Conflicts churn, plural inside of me. I think about calling a nurse to keep an eye on her, but decide against it. After taking one more glance at her peaceful face, I decide that she'll be fine. I do pocket the remaining pills, though. I exit the room and close the door soundlessly behind me. I exhale deeply, only now realizing I'd held my breath for the better part of a minute. Taking a moment to relax, I try to calm down my heart racing like a jackrabbit. Exciting! I had trouble getting to sleep that night, so the next morning finds me exceptionally groggy. I briefly consider skipping class, but remind myself that I was supposed to be a stronger person now. I get up like a good boy and put on my uniform, and make my way to the main school building without eating breakfast. I sit in my seat in classroom 3-3, waving a greeting to Misha and Shizune like I do every morning, and let the day wash over me. The afternoon classes are always longer than those in the morning. This is true regardless of whether I count it by the minute or by the number of doodles drawn in my notebooks. Today I'm especially distracted as I keep thinking about Rin. Yeah, Rin. Did I manage to properly tell her that I want to get better? Did she understand a word of what I was saying? I think about the kiss we shared and what it means. She was so out of her mind, maybe it means nothing. But we've been getting closer lately. What does that mean? I think about Rin more and more nowadays. I wonder if she thinks about me. The ringing of bells makes me flinch. Yeah, me too, Hisa. And then realize that I haven't been paying attention during the latter half of class at all. I look at the assortment of sketches traveling up and down the margins of my notebook, the only thing I got done in the last hour. Feeling vaguely disappointed in myself, I pack up and get to the hallway. Rin is standing right outside the door, her presence stopping me in my tracks as soon as I spot her. Her posture is relaxed as always, but I suddenly feel like I just ate a crowbar. I'm having a hard time meeting her gaze. She doesn't seem to have any trouble looking at me, but those dark eyes are making me feel flustered for no reason. Maybe because it's not her eyes that you saw, smartass. It's hard to look straight at her, so I turn my face away a little. I don't know what one should say in this kind of situation. Then again, I rarely know what to say to Rin in any given situation. Hi. Hello. I try to get rid of the awkwardness in my voice and invoke a more natural way of speaking. I suddenly worry about where I should put my hands. It feels as though they're in the way somehow. How are you feeling? You were pretty out of it yesterday. I'm okay. What do you mean yesterday? You don't remember? She tilts her head to the side like a bird, looking somewhat confused. Remember what? I have a pretty bad memory. About yesterday? What about yesterday? Well, I came to see you, and I don't remember that kind of thing happening. She really doesn't remember? I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel disheartened all the same. Yeah, you would. I remember that I promised to show you one place, though. Did that happen for real? Maybe I just think that I remember that and I really don't. No, that was real too. Okay. Do you want to go? Now? Yeah. Well, sure. Why not? Is it far? It's not. Together we walk downstairs and then outside. The usual summer day, whirring cicadas and all, greets us. It's immensely hot. Without the air conditioning the classrooms offer, I start sweating immediately. We start along the tree-lined pathway that leads towards the dorms. The cherry trees offer shade, with the sunlight blinking through the holes in the canopy. The light creates a chaotic pattern of shadows dappled with bright places where the beams hit the pavement. Rin's eyes are wandering in every direction but mine. I get the feeling that it's intentional. She leads me to the back gate once again, taking us through it into the forest beyond. As before, the dropping temperature and the drastically reduced level of light make it feel like the forest is swallowing us into its cavernous belly. We head uphill along the same path as last time, snaking around trees and boulders, over roots and rocks, past wild undergrowth. Birds sing somewhere in the woods, soloists for the humming background music of the treetops. We go past the small clearing with the big maple that is now called the worry tree. The climb steepens and becomes easier again. I have to stop a few times to catch my breath, then hurry after Rin, who doesn't stop to wait for me. Soon I'm out of breath again. Suddenly the trees end, and we emerge from the forest. The boundary of the woods is sharp and abrupt, as though a line had been drawn to mark it. The hill continues to climb up a little further ahead, but from here to the top it's a rocky meadow, patches of grass and small bushes that look like they're growing straight from the rock. We soon reach the highest point, with the forest behind us and the view to every direction opening in front of our eyes. The city lies far below and away, lazily reveling in the quiet afternoon mood. You can see pretty far from here, and the vista is beautiful. I wonder how high up we are. I breathe the fresh air and feel my heart rate slowly going back down. I think I might have overdone it a bit. A higher pulse is dangerous for me. I'm feeling fine right now, though. The wind picks up, ruffling my hair and causing the trees below us to sway. It makes the grass undulate in waves as the breeze sweeps across the hilltop. Sun shines from the open skies above us, a few clouds passing by to shadow it. What was painful heat before is now gentle warmth. I take a good look around. The hilltop is pretty in the way nature often is, unplanned harmony found in the natural arrangement of things. The most striking feature is the abundance of small yellow flowers. They're literally everywhere in this small meadow. I can't help commenting on it. Wow, a lot of flowers. Yeah, you know this kind? They'll fly away. Yeah, dandelions. There are not many of them at the school because they cut the grass so often. Nobody cuts the grass up here. The fragile-looking flowers will soon turn white and fluffy like cotton, and the wind will carry their seeds away. I crouch down to look at one tiny yellow flower silently basking in the sunlight. There's not a hint of white yet, so it's still waiting for its time to be fulfilled. I brush my fingers against the delicate yellow petals, feel the soft texture in my fingertips. It feels nostalgic somehow. I hear Rin approaching from behind and stand back up to face her. She has a weird look on her face. Something on your mind? I don't know. It's just... Oh, here it comes. You just look so sad all the time and become upset so easily. It makes me confused, and I really don't remember much about yesterday except you came to my room, and that's why it might be because of me. So if it's because of me, I think that I know why. It's because people don't really like talking to me, and you might be the same. And that would be sad. I know that people are talking about others and me too, and always say that I'm strange and that I talk strange things, and I try not to say strange things, but that just makes me think more and more new strange things. Colorful. That was not a good word, but maybe you understand anyway. Odd things. So if I want to say something, I don't really know how, and then the words are not the same as the thoughts because something goes wrong on the way out. But it's not like the thoughts are really the thing I should be saying. It's more like the idea of the thought of the feeling, or the idea of the feeling, but it's not really any of those either because there's no word for it unless I invent a new one, which is not really useful. So I've been thinking of doing things is better than saying. So maybe because yesterday I took those pills and I was feeling a little strange, I might have done something that I shouldn't. Besides, I don't even know if it would be any better if I could just say the thought that there's no telepathy that's real telepathy. There isn't. I think it'd be terrible and useful at the same time, but right now I wouldn't mind because misunderstanding is so easy, but understanding is not. And I thought, thank you, Hisao. I grasp her shoulder and squeeze hard to make her stop. I don't have the capacity to take that in all at once. Rin shuts up instantly. Take a breath. I'm not upset. Why would I be? I'm just a little confused, but it's alright. I wonder if I was making a face she doesn't like again. I guess I've been thinking about yesterday all the time. Maybe I look weird. Wish I had a mirror with me at all times. No need to get it said all at once. I'll listen, even if you talk slower. It just came out. Sorry. I'm okay now. I just wanted to say something. I didn't mean that much. It's weird, isn't it? Innocence. She looks at me with a surprisingly timid expression, one that I haven't seen before. I can't help but laugh a little. Yeah, it's weird. You're a pretty weird person, but there's nothing wrong with that. Thanks for being worried about me, but I'm gonna get better. I told you that yesterday, but I guess you don't remember that either. I don't. I wonder what else I forgot. Hopefully nothing important like my own name. That'd be terrible. Well, you kissed me. I did. Yeah, you did. On the lips. I try to sound as matter-of-fact as I can, but I worry that I might be blushing again. Did you kick me? No! Why would I do that? Then it's all good, right? It's okay, right? I didn't forget my name. Yeah, it's okay. I wish I was more suave so that I could come up with a better follow-up to that, but nothing comes to mind. It's a good thing that Rin has more to say. It makes me feel relieved somehow. I think I should say sorry. I'm really bad with people. Some things are hard to understand, like jellyfish. You understand jellyfish? I guess not. People are like jellyfish to me. I don't understand. Now it's her turn to make a face I really don't like seeing. I've never really had friends. Now, see, this looks like an important decision gate, and in some ways it is, but this one actually doesn't have a bearing on how things go from here. So really, I'm just going to go for the route that I personally would say on this one. What about me? Nah, I'm your friend, for one. I mean, think about it. We already talk a lot to each other, and we've even gotten upset at each other and then forgiven the other for it. That's what they call friendship. It's really nice of you to say that. I've always been able to tell everything to pencils and paints and paper. They're my best friends. It's harder with people. I have to use words. That's hard for me. Yeah, I know. You told me about how you forget. Rin nods at me wordlessly, and I dare attempt to showing her a little encouraging smile. I hope I do it properly. She doesn't reply in any way. I feel really glad. The distance Rin puts between herself and everything else has made me feel really uneasy ever since I met her. If we become real friends, I'm sure I could understand her more. I'm sure that this way we can close the gap of understanding between us. My thoughts don't transmit to Rin. She seems lost deep in thought, wandering amidst the sea of yellow flowers covering the grassy hilltop. It's just as well. Time passes, the breeze making the taller grass sway gently in time with the wind. Rin hums a little song to herself so quietly that I can't tell what it is, if it's even anything at all. A stronger gust sweeps over the hilltop, and the sound of the trees and the wind buries the song away. I check my watch, more out of habit than anything else. It's 4:30 right now, on this Saturday afternoon. Rin looks into the distant horizon with that odd blank stare of hers, as if she were looking at nothing at all. Her pupils are dark and quiet like a pair of deep, still ponds. I think I'm going to quit the art club. I realized it when we had that argument last week. It was a good thing that I tried it, but it's just not my thing, you know? I had more fun getting to know you than actually doing the art stuff in there. But I want to stay as your friend. Would that be alright? Sure. It was getting pretty creepy anyway with you staring at me all the time. Her comment makes me fluster immediately, but I manage a reply. Sorry about that. It's okay. I'm used to it. You're not the first person who likes to see me paint. Are you going to do some other thing? I don't know. Probably not. You're going to become better, right? Sure. Me too, you know. I'm gonna talk to that friend of the teacher and ask her to put my stuff in her place and work hard to get all that done. I decided that just now, you know, but I think I knew it all along. I've had this feeling for a long time now that I'm going to change, even if I hate it and don't want it. Even if I wanted to, I would change. Like, I am not enough the way I am. I think this could be a good way to do it because it's like a straight line. Like I've learned all the things in my life so far just for this. It's just art, and it's the only thing I really know. I know what I'm gonna do, so it's good. I'm not afraid at all. I feel like I always do. Is that weird? No, not at all. I close my eyes and give in to the irresistible sensation that has been growing inside me all week long. I float up towards the surface of my own life. The pressure of being underwater slowly diminishes. The weightless sensation becomes stronger. I break the surface of the water, lifting my head into the sunlight and inhale deeply, breathing in fresh air as if for the first time in a long, long while. My lungs fill with oxygen, and I open my eyes to see Rin's peaceful, determined face. We walk down the slope carefully and slowly to avoid falling down, Rin in the lead and me a few steps behind. Rin surely can do this. Even if she can't, she's going to pull through. I'm sure that I can keep my head above water too from now on. The sun sets behind our backs, setting the world ablaze in its orange glow. I keep watching the back of the red-headed girl descending the path a few steps ahead of me. If it's only this much, this distance between us is definitely within my reach. Act 3, Distance. Suddenly Muto. Okay. Well, so that's going to be all for part 10 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo Rin's Path. More excitement today. That was fun. Alright, folks. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you're enjoying the playthrough so far. I know I am. Guess I'll see you guys next time for part 11. I'm your host, NeoMegaMan, signing off. End of line.